um, I'm looking at the combined chart now, which is all the exchanges, centralized exchanges. We've put in an all-time low, as you can see, which is miserably bearish. It's hard to shill a token which keeps on putting all-time lows, isn't it? All-time low, all-time low, all-time low, all-time low, all-time low. And what have we got here? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. We've got a really ugly downtrend. That being said, every time we put in an all-time low, it doesn't go much lower. That's the pattern, isn't it? So, I mean, exception was after the launch, it did go much lower, but after that low here, after this low here, how much lower did we go? Another 7%. You know, it's, how much are we down now? We're down another 12% now. I don't think we, like, it's, the lower you go, the harder it is to go down, huh? Because it becomes, the price of a token becomes incredibly cheap. And obviously the context is the rest of the value, which is, in this circumstance, it's a real world assets type token, decentralized physical network type token, elements of AI, and with all the investment from venture capital and partnerships with different platforms such as Matic and Fetch, with the business side bringing in over $1 million plus revenue. This is the site I wanted to show you before I forgot it, but it came back to my mind. June Analytics. When you're looking at this, what do you see? Well, I see that we've got a really nice increase in revenue, not revenue, but booking value. We can see it's an increasing, it's a trend that's going up and up and up month on month. You can see the room nights booked just keeps on going up. We're kind of steadily going up now. We're not kind of exponentially going up. We're just kind of going up in a very straight line rather than an exponential line. For some reason, this total listing has dropped. I don't know why. But maybe this is just a mid cycle, mid kind of stage plateau before it kind of increases. Total operators, the operator sign-ups are increasing steadily. So we've got continuous growth on this. We've had some kind of sporadic moments of fast growth, and now we're kind of going into slow growth. At any point in time, you can suddenly get a jump, a sporadic increase in growth. Like, I don't see this in decline. I see this in the hyper growth stage. Yeah, it's hard to, like, for example, I have my listings on Dtravel. I'm not taking them off, and I'm still kind of pushing direct bookings on Dtravel. So it's not something that I stop, regardless of where the project is in other aspects of other people's kind of ideas. So this is interesting, you know, this is still good, you know, that's kind of what I'm saying. And the lower you go, the better the value. Honestly, it's like you're getting something for dirt cheap. Now, it's hard to buy the lows when you're in negative price discovery, but what I'm seeing now, and it's quite interesting, and I think just from a technical perspective, you just got to be aware of what I'm seeing. We've got quite a lot of volume coming in the lows here, sell volume, and the price is struggling to go down. Yeah, and so a lot of people got despondent and they started selling at the lows. And this last 3-day red candle on the combined chart on the exchanges, we've got 21 million tokens worth of selling. Yeah, it's quite a lot. And the price only managed to go down 5%. It's not much. So we're hitting quite liquid areas, very liquid areas where there's a little bit of interest in the token price. This is so far this 3-day candle, we've got 21 million in volume. So the volume has increased. That's my point. Up here, when the price was much higher, people Look, they weren't selling 6 million, whatever, 7 million when the price was looking bearish. 7, no one was selling. They were holding, 2 million, whatever. And then suddenly, oh, that was quite bad. 31 in that candle. So that, you see, that was quite liquid because that candle was 31 million and the price dropped 29%. And here you've got a very similar, you have a price drop of 6% and you have a 21 million in volume. So we're coming to a very liquid area now where you may feel bearish, you may feel like it's illiquid, but actually we're getting quite high volume here, or heavy volume. You can see there's been an increase in volume in this area. Yeah, and you may feel bearish about that, but that's being absorbed. There's a little bit of absorption here. I'm not saying it's bullish. I'm just saying that we're hitting areas where people are now going, I can buy some, I can buy a lot, I can buy a lot of this token because I'm still fundamentally bullish on the project, on different aspects of the project which are bullish. And I've shown you that. Now, in my stream yesterday, I said anything underneath all-time low is a buy zone. Anything above all-time high is a sell zone. And nothing's changed. I contemplated different ideas of what could happen, but this is a buy zone. If you're underneath a previous, you're in a buy zone. You may be afraid to buy the dip, but naturally yesterday someone wasn't. Yeah, so someone wasn't afraid to buy, and he just, whoever it was, just market bought. There was a market buy of 2 million TRVL. And you can see here, you've got people selling. Oh, selling. Look at the 1.2 million in that down candle, right back up. You know, so there's no need to market sell in these areas. It's just ridiculous. It's just madness to market sell in these areas. Any one of these people who wanted to sell, if they really wanted to sell, they could just put limit orders, and then they could have got a better fill at the very least. But that obviously hasn't happened, and now you've got this big market buy, which is our first sign of life. I'm not saying this is the beginning of the next move. I have no idea, but it is impulsive from the lows. It's an impulsive move, so you could argue it's like a wave one. You can make that argument, and until we see it, we can't predict it or make it happen. You can see here now we're in a little bit of a very flat correction. Yeah, showing bullish divergences on the MACD. So we're getting some kind of absorption of price on the MACD. See, there's a bit of sell volume here and the price hasn't gone down. A little bit buy volume, the price hasn't gone up. So we're getting a little bit of buying and selling in this really close, tight-knit range. But this is a flat correction. And we are looking at potentially a failed auction. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Just because of this helps. Yeah? This helps me imagine a future where we go above the previous all-time high with another impulsive stage move for another correction, for a failed auction type situation, for potentially another impulsive start type move. Now, is that the beginning of the wave one of a new impulsive move? I have no idea. I can't predict that because in a wave one type situation, you don't invalidate it until you come back and you take the low. So the only way to know if it is or if it isn't is if the price corrects and holds for a higher low for another impulsive move. Okay, and we don't know how it would correct if we get a failed auction. Okay, because the price could also go down and make a lower low and invalidate this impulsive move. And what actually ends up happening is this was ABC corrective, ABC corrective, ABC corrective. Not a 5-wave move, but like an ABC, ABC, ABC type corrective move for continued down pressure. Okay, because of reasons I can't explain. The way we'll know or have a clue of what happens is volume. Okay, and what we want to see is increasing green volume as the price goes up. If you start seeing increasing green volume as the price goes up, that will be your clue that we're actually looking at a healthy move to the upside and not an unhealthy move to the upside. We want to see increasing green volume to the upside, and as the price descends to find support, we want to see decreasing volume and gentle declines. We don't want to see aggressive decline. We want to see a gentle decline. We want to see aggressive buying and non-aggressive selling. Yeah, gentle selling, basically gentle taking profit, decreasing volume. So I don't think we should panic just yet, because if we do get a failed auction here, and we do find support back on the all-time low, the previous all-time low, yeah, then there is a chance we have a rally to higher up. I don't know how high, but we'll have to see. Again, you just have to see where the price finds support, finds resistance, etc. And that could be a relief rally, or it could be just another rotation to the top of the range with another low. Like when we put in this all-time low here and the price had its first kind of impulsive move, you had kind of a few weeks or months of selling, and then look what happened. It just went up and up and up and up, you know. So we could just be putting an all-time low here, just like we did here, just to kind of create this kind of price action to go up. It may not go up to exceed our expectations. You may just be going up to put in another lower high, okay? But the point of this is that it's just not a good place or idea, in my opinion, to sell, yeah, willy-nilly and hope for lower. Are you hoping for lower because you want to buy back lower? Or are you just selling because you think this is bearish and this is going to zero? Or because you're pump chasing in meme coins, okay? Because the reality is you may hold here and do nothing, and in a few months time we're back up 200-300%. Whereas if you go selling now and you go chasing your meme coins, you may not get that. You may or you may not. So it's a bit of a gamble in that sense. It'd be better to just take it easy, and if anything, accumulate more. If and when we get a little failed auction here, that would be interesting, because I'd like to see how the market responds to that, to a failed auction, rather than expecting or hoping for low, right? So that's kind of my TRVL update. In the background, things are potentially shifting in the background. I can't say if it's to my pleasure or not. I have no idea. Unfortunately, I have no idea. And while I'm one of the few who are publicly communicating about Dtravel and TRVL, I'm just as much in the dark as most of the people out there. It's a shame, really, but what can I do about that? It is synonymous to the problems that a lot of people have experienced with a lot of projects, not just Dtravel. I think crypto, it's just a generic comment, you know. I think crypto is already, there's a lot of mistrust and rug pulls, etc. in crypto, and the most important thing with crypto is that whoever is creating a crypto project, that they have the most honest, transparent, clear communication with their community as possible. Yeah, it's really important, because you have to dispel the mistrust, you have to dispel the fear. And I think a lot of crypto, like in my experience and what I've seen, a lot of crypto projects struggle to do that, and that's why a lot of people abandon them, because they're not satisfied with the communication. So I don't think we're unique in that sense, and at least I'm here to kind of help try to address those issues. I'm not in charge, and so therefore I don't make those decisions, and for reasons that I can't explain, for some reason the people who haven't got the kind of adaptability to do that. But maybe with a little bit of pressure, maybe with a little bit of feedback, maybe we can kind of get them to a place where there's enough confidence that we could get the price of this token back into the highs, or even higher. The problem with that is that it just, every time the price goes up, it breeds an air of complacency. You kind of think, all right, this is it. Now we're going to the moon. Now we're going to the higher prices. Now just hold on to your rockets. Yeah. And actually nothing changes. And that's really what we've been experiencing in all of these pumps, a complacency. And so what I'm trying to change isn't a continued complacency. What I'm trying to change is continued trust, continued the ingredients for establishing and for developing a really strong community. Clear, honest, transparent communication, vision for the future, roadmaps, etc., etc., shared decisions with the community, shared accountability, shared responsibility, shared leadership in some sense. Okay, that's the changes that I've suggested, which includes constant updates, not just kind of one-sided updates, but updates with like AMAs and stuff, town halls, and where strategic decisions are given to the community to comment on, at least if not the whole community, certain people, members of the community. And that, I think that will kind of help and to quell a lot of the anxiety and the fear. It's still a good buy. It really is still a good buy. It's hard to buy the fear, but that's sometimes those are the most life-changing moments. Do we have further to go down? I don't know. I've suggested that it is possible for the price to form a bottom at 1.4 in the future, but if we get a failed auction, then forget about it. Then we've just put in a lower low, just like we did here back in October. This was October, the beginning of the bull market. Could we do the same thing? It's possible, It's possible. So it's not out of the context of what this token has the ability to do. I'm definitely not selling. If we see a failed auction, you know, I'd probably be tempted to buy some more, just because I see that we've had a failed auction and we've fallen back to find support off the previous all-time line low. It would be a good trade in my imagination. I wouldn't be expecting it off a failed auction to go down. I'd be expecting it then to kind of find support to go up. So that's TRVL. Any questions or anything, you're welcome to join my Discord. The link is below this video. Happy to chat about TRVL. We have real honest conversations about TRVL there. You might not be able to have the freedom to talk freely on Dtravel. You might not feel that you have the freedom to talk freely on Dtravel's Telegram, but I'm happy to have open and honest conversations if anyone's interested. Just come into my Discord. It's free. There's no cost, and it's all open and transparent, and we can have a chat. Right. So that's my stream for today. I think I don't really have much more to say, except, is Bitcoin going to zero? Apparently not. Let's have a look at this. Oh, a little bit of bullish divergence forming here. I like that. I like bullish divergences. That buying tail disappeared. The buying tails are all gone. That's a shame. But I like the bullish divergence that's formed. So even though we might go lower, I like bullish divergence. I like it when the market's buying, and it's giving me the indication of buying. Yeah. So when the market looks like it wants to buy and it's absorbing the price, I'm going to buy a little bit and absorb the price. I wouldn't mind if Solana pumped, to be honest with you. That would give me a little bit of confidence about the market, because Solana usually has a clue about the future. The Solana crowd, those degens. All right, I'm gonna go now. I think I'm gonna try and stream for a late night sesh tonight. This could we hold a higher low here and just go up? It's possible, so don't just kind of feel bearish. Let's see what happens when New York opens properly in 1.5 hours. That usually sets the tone. Sometimes you get a dump before you get a pump, or you know, if you suddenly get a pump first, then it could continue to dump. So just bear that in mind. And let's see what happens at the daily close today, and then we'll come back late night for a late night stream in the late hours. And if you're in America, it'll be afternoon, and then we can analyze the daily close together. All right, have a good evening, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, and then see you later. Bye bye.